Are you Stephen Risso's wife? Yes, I am. Who are you? My name is Lisa Bennett. I work under Mr. Risso. Oh, okay. May I help you? Let's cut to the chase. I was in a relationship with Mr. Risso. What? You mean you were having an affair? Yes, that's what I mean. What the? I decided to reach to you because I was worried about you. Huh? He is infected with AIDS. Are you okay? What is this all about? I'm confused. So, you didn't know either. Is there evidence? I haven't feel well lately, so I took a day off to get tested. And I found out I'm infected with HIV. Are you saying that you got infected from my husband? Yes. He has have tested for HIV before, and the result was negative. What? We've been undergoing fertility treatments for 4 years now. HIV testing is mandatory. When was that? About 5 years ago. During that time, has he been healthy? Of course, he has got sick sometimes, but nothing serious. The initial symptoms of HIV are just like a cold. Even if he hasn't developed AIDS, there's still a chance he is infected. I really think so. Stop making things up! I have test results. If you keep lying, I will call my lawyer. I'm not lying. It is a fact that I am infected. I even have a medical certificate. You didn't get infected from someone else? That's impossible. I lost it to Mr. Ross. I'm amazed that your first man was a married man. I didn't know he was married. I'm sure he wears his ring at work. It's unreasonable to think he was single. He didn't wear a ring at work. What? Are you serious? Yes. Besides, it's my first year at work. I didn't know much about his private. And you were saying you thought he was single? Yes, he was the one started to flirt with me. I had no doubt about it. I can't believe it! When he came over at my house, I saw your text on his notification on his phone. I got suspicious, so I went through his phone while he is asleep. That's how I found out he is married. What's the purpose of texting me? Money? No. I saw your conversation on his phone, and you said you were getting fertility treatments using timed intercourse. I thought it's a big deal if you didn't know about the HIV. That's why I'm texting you. Well, that didn't work, so we recently switched to artificial insemination. I see. Just in case, would you take another test? If you get pregnant now, it might affect your baby. I got pregnant yesterday. Is the baby okay? I'm tested negative, so of course it's fine. The result is from 5 years ago, right? Please get another test. I have an HIV test coming up at my prenatal checkup. Well, it's probably negative. Mr. Ross hasn't been tested, right? Then would you please tell him to take another test? Okay, I got it. We know how result is going to be, but... So if my husband retests too, it will make sense to you, right? Thank you so much. But it doesn't mean you have my trust yet. Depending on the test results, I may have to take legal action against you. I really am not lying. I'll decide if you are lying or not after I hear what my husband has to say. I'll call you back if I find out anything. Bye. My name is Emma. I'm 40 years old housewife. My husband is 3 years older than me. We met through my friend and we got married. I always wanted a child, but we had been struggling and underwent fertility treatment for a while, and we finally found out that I'm pregnant yesterday. In the midst of happiness, I got a text from a woman. Her name is Emma, and she told me about my husband having an affair with herself. More than that, she said that my husband is infected with HIV. I was really confused, but I couldn't be a cupcake, so I made up my mind. I decided to contact my husband. His reaction was nothing I expected. I'm sorry to bother you at work, but can we talk?
For a few minutes, yeah. Is everything okay?
Are you cheating on me?
What? What are you saying?
I just got text from Lisa Bennett.
Oh, the woman who joined my department last year. She told you that I'm dating with her?
Yeah, she also said that you were infected with HIV.
She is obviously lying. We tested negative, right?
I know that. But what was that purpose of her telling me all this?
Maybe for money? I'm a director of my team, so she knows I get paid good. She might be after consultation money.
Hey! Can you prove me that you were not cheating on me?
You don't trust me?
I want to. But at some points, it didn't sound like she was lying to me.
We've been married for 10 years now and our bond is strong. And you believe someone you've never met and not me?
But these couple years, you've been coming home late and sometimes you didn't even come home.
I'm the head of the sales department. I'm busy.
About fertility treatment, the timed intercourse didn't work for us because of you. And that's why we had to switch to artificial insemination, right?
Are you blaming on me? And you are doubting me just because I come home late? You're such a jerk.
As long as you prove me that you are not cheating, I can't trust you 100%.
There's no proof that I'm having an affair in the first place. That would be the proof.
Then let me go through your phone and show me your credit card statements.
Why?
If you're not cheating, it wouldn't be a problem, right? Let me check your phone to see if you're texting with her or not.
I'm not texting with her like that. And what does the credit card statement do?
I want to know how you spend your money, so I can guess if you were cheating or not. If you are not doing anything suspicious, give me your phone.
It's my private. Give me some space.
Okay, then at least get tested. She repeatedly asked me to tell you to get retested.
I had a medical checkup. And nothing was wrong with me, so I'm not going to get retested.
I thought they don't test for HIV in normal physical exam.
I think they did on their own. There was a blood test and everything.
You have to sign a paper to get tested for HIV. Do you remember doing that?
Oh, I probably tested negative.
Show me the result.
Oh, that's enough. You better stop now. Who do you think is earning the money so that you don't get hungry?
Sure, I'm a housewife and living on your salary. But it was you who asked me to do so, wasn't it?
Are you talking back to me?
You know I wanted to keep my job after I got married with you, as a pharmacist at my parents' clinic. But you asked me to be a housewife. And I did.
So what? It's a woman's job to take care of the house.
I didn't become a housewife to be yelled at. I finally got pregnant. I'm supposed to be the happiest now. Why do we have to talk like this?
I don't know. I didn't do anything wrong. If you want to blame me on someone, it shouldn't be me. It should be Lisa Bennett.
HIV test is just blood test. If you aren't hiding anything suspicious, you should be able to show me your phone and your credit card statements.
I can't do this anymore. I'm not going home for a while. I don't want to take care of a hysterical woman. I'm not going home.
You're going to your parents' house?
I'm not going back to that house. You know how my dad is.
I don't think he's that picky.
He always tells me to take care of you and stuff like that. It's pretty annoying to me.
Well, that's because he loves your mother, right?
But he can't force me to be like that.
He isn't saying anything bad at all.
I want to build a marriage relationship my way. Who would listen to my dad's opinion?
If you're not going to your parents' house, where are you going to stay?
Why do I have to tell you? You will learn how hard it is to be on your own.
No.
I'll go back when your head is cooler. You better be sorry for what you did. Bye.
I've sent a divorce paper to your parents' house, so fill out and submit it. I'm going to ask for child support as well.
What? Divorce? What are you talking about?
You pretended to be single and played around. More than that, you infected a woman with HIV. I can't continue our marriage.
Don't tell me you believe that woman's story.
Yes, I do. I miraculously tested negative. I can't be with someone who's irresponsible like you.
How can you talk shit about me like that, you ugly face? Talk back to me after you earn your own money.
That is so mean to say. I can't believe myself for getting married with you.
How can I affect someone when I tested negative? You said that I was having an affair with that woman, but that's just her making it up for money.
No, you were affected.
What?
You got infected after we started fertility treatment, right? Then it's no wonder you tested negative 5 years ago.
Do you have any proof?
This certificate says it's positive.
Where did you get these?
I owe it to Lisa.
That woman?
She found out that she wasn't the only one when she went through your phone.
What? She went that far?
That's not all. She contacted to all the other women and had them all tested. Most of them tested negative, but one was positive. The woman confessed to me beforehand.
I don't understand.
When she found out about the infection, I was a year into my fertility treatments, right?
I have nothing to do with this.
Yes, you do. Around that time, you started dating with that girl, right? I know all about it.
Well,
after she got infected, she talked to you about it. It made you get tested and it came out positive. She kept a certification for just in case, thanks to her.
that thing is a fake.
Well then, shall I call this clinic?
Don't.
Do you have something to hide?
It's all her lies. She's just trying to make me the bad guy and take my money.
You look so helpless now.
She didn't talk about other women when she contacted you, right?
Well, yeah, she didn't. At that point.
So after the fact. It means that she's trying to make me look even worse.
She told me why she didn't talk about it in the first place. It was for not to cause any more confusion.
That's another excuse. Don't make me a bad guy by just hearing her side. You don't even have a proof.
I'm sorry, but I've already met the other woman in person. I know the timeline of when you started seeing each of them. After you got infected with HIV, you started dating with Lisa, and got her infected with HIV too. That's the story.
Damn it.
Tell me the truth.
It's true that I got infected a year after we started the treatment. I was seeing someone and got it from her.
So, you finally admit it. You tested negative 5 years ago, so I couldn't believe it at first. But if you got it after the test, then it makes sense.
But I'm cured.
What?
I was sick right after I got infected and I was taking medicine, but after a few days I recovered.
I thought you were taking medicine for cold. So it was for HIV, huh? I should have checked.
The doctor said the survival rate of HIV-infected patients is going up. I'm fine.
You know, it is true that the survival rate is going up. But once you get infected with HIV, you'll never get cured.
But I'm completely fine. Even the physical exam didn't come out bad at all.
You are just in the phase of the asymptomatic carrier now. It doesn't mean you're cured.
What? What's that?
HIV infection is divided into 3 stages. The acute stage, and then it goes to chronic stage. The last one is AIDS stage.
Don't say such difficult things. I don't understand.
You are just in the early stage with no asymptomatic. The virus is growing inside your body and your immunity is slowly declining.
What? It's growing? I'm not sick at all.
There is no way to completely eliminate the HIV virus from your body, at least for now.
So I'm just asymptomatic? I wasn't cured?
That's what I'm saying. And if you stop taking medicine in the middle of treatment, it might never work again.
What? No way. I'm not taking medicine anymore.
I heard that there are people who forget to take their medicine once or twice, and they failed. I don't know if the meds will work even if you resume treatment.
Oh no.
On top of that, you knew you were positive, and you passed it on to others. It wouldn't be a surprise if Lisa charged you with alimony. There's possibility.
So it was about money after all. Women are so shady.
Compared to what you've done, it's nothing. Your knowledge of HIV is so poor and you didn't even use protection. And you tried to trick women to play around.
I had them take pills just in case. I thought I was cured.
HIV is a chronic disease. It can be controlled, but it can never be cured.
But why did you test negative? It's been a while, but I'm sure we've done it more than Lisa.
The rate of getting an infection from the act is 0.1 to 1%.
It's that low?
But it's a miracle I didn't get infected. Lisa was unlucky though. Huh?
I was infected from someone too, you know? If the rate is that low and I got infected, I'm unlucky too.
That's enough. You didn't take HIV serious and cheated on your wife. Don't act miserable.
You don't have to say that like that.
You even put the baby in danger too. The virus was removed only because I was getting fertility treatment. I just happened to be okay.
If it's safe, why don't you just let it go? I have to live with HIV for the rest of my life.
Who cares? I'll charge you for child support. You better make up your mind.
Okay, I'll pay for child support, so don't blame me anymore. I'm shocked too.
Don't you dare thinking just paying money solves everything?
What?
First of all, you're fired.
What? You don't have the authority to do that.
You don't know who Lisa Bennett is, do you?
She is just a new employee, right?
Her father is an executive professor at your company.
You were kidding me, right?
Unfortunately, both of her parents are very upset about this. I heard they are having a meeting about getting you fired.
They can't fire me for something like this. It's unfair.
What you've done could find you guilty for an assault.
What? I've never hurt Lisa physically.
Even though you misunderstood about HIV, you were HIV positive and you didn't use protection. It can be considered as an assault under the law.
That can't be true.
They can't keep such an employee like you. They took a contact to their lawyer and they're going to take a legal action. You should be aware of that.
I can't do this. Paying a big amount of money and getting fired at the same time.
You have no right to say so.
I'm going to get away with it. I'm not paying for anything.
Good luck with that.
You don't know where I am.
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Yep. Like I said, I know every woman you had relationships with. Of course, the woman whose house you're hiding in right now is one of them.
Oh no.
All of them thought you were single. You lied to them and now you're getting...
I'm leaving. Don't follow me.
Your parents are on their way to you right now. You better go home, okay?
My parents?
I thought you would run away, so I asked them for help beforehand. You're going to be under your parents' supervision from now on. So you better pay whatever I charge you and regret what you've done.
My dad is here.
I'm glad they got here just in time. Okay now, I'll see you at court. After that, we got divorced. I charged him as much as possible. He also was ordered for compensation to Miss Bennett. He has no money left. He got fired and there was no job he could find at the age of 43. He had no luck with job interviews. However, his parents nailed him to the wall and took him to the job. Or they found out they were going to kick him out. He started to work part-time. He also managed to resume HIV treatment, but because he had stopped his previous treatment halfway through, the drugs were no longer effective. And that gave him even less options for treatments. The treatment has been quite difficult. I heard that he was having a hard time. As for me, I gave birth safely after that. I am now raising my child at my parents' house. I'm planning to start working again as a pharmacist at a parent's clinic. I was surprised at my husband's unbelievable behavior, but everything went back to him, so I feel much better now. From now on, I'm going to focus on my child and myself. I'll do my best to be happy.
It's not fair, Serena. You're given a privilege because you are their biological daughter. What's going on all of a sudden, Mary? Your mother told me, even though we all live in this family house, you are the only one not paying for living expenses, Serena. That's not fair. We're paying $1,000 a month to your parents for our living expenses. I see. About that. There's a reason for this. Has my mother told you anything about it? Reasons? She told me nothing of the sort. It's my parents' decision to exempt me from paying my living expenses. They said that since they didn't have to spend much money on me, they want to at least have my living expenses exempted. Huh? What do you mean by that? I don't get it at all. My brother Edward went to college, but I decided to work after graduating from high school. That's why they said they'd exempt my living expenses, equal to Edward's college tuition. My parents' policy has always been to treat siblings equally. So your living expenses will continue to be exempted forever? Well, for a while, but not forever. I've done some rough calculations, and I think it'll be for another 2 to 3 years. Edward went to a private university, and he even had to repeat a year of school. So the tuition fees seem to be quite expensive. Another 2 to 3 years? While your brother and his wife are working hard to pay $1,000 a month to your parents, you still get an exemption? That's not fair. Even if you say it's unfair, that's what my parents decided. If you don't like paying them $1,000 a month that much, why don't you rent an apartment? There's no way you can rent an apartment with the same conditions as this house with only $1,000. Plus, this house is in the best neighborhood around here. It's close to work. Hospitals and shopping facilities are nearby. If I rented an apartment of the same level nearby, the rent would be $8,000. Then, living here for only $1,000, including rent and living expenses, is a very good deal. You're living a very reasonable life, so could you stop saying it's unfair? Then please give us some money in exchange. Excuse me? We've been paying $1,000 a month, but you, Serena, were exempted. Then surely you have plenty saved up, right? Well, I guess so. Then you can afford to pay us $10,000, can't you? Instead of saying it's unfair, please give us $10,000. I don't understand what's going on here. Why do I have to give my brother and his wife $10,000? We are in debt because of you, Serena. On top of the $1,000 we are paying as living expenses, we have a loan for a new car. And we also have a lot of friends, so our entertainment expenses are pretty high too. As a result, our family budget is in the red. Before we knew it, we had $10,000 in debt. So please pay for our debt. I'm surprised that you have a debt, but I still don't understand why I have to pay for it. You've never paid for your own living expenses, right, Serena? That means you're living on our money. What? And we're in debt because we're struggling with the $1,000 of living expenses. In other words, our debt was caused by you. So I think you should pay the $10,000 we owe. Huh? If you have savings thanks to the living expense exemption, it's okay, right? Our debt of $10,000, we will definitely have you pay this. Mary told me that you have a debt of $10,000. Is that true?
Sis, I'm sorry for all the weird things Mary said. I heard everything from Mary just now. It was so crazy that I couldn't understand much of what she said.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? That whole theory? She talked as if the debt was my fault.
I'm so sorry. The $10,000 debt is due to our poor money management. And yet, she's demanding you pay it back as if she's taking it out on you. I'll be sure to give her words of caution later.
I'm a little relieved. I was wondering what I should do if even you had the same thoughts as her.
Even I can't keep up with that crazy theory. But, you know, if you could help us, I'd really appreciate it if you'd provide us with the money to repay the debt.
I beg your pardon?
Well, the interest rate at the place we owe money to is really high. That's why the repayment hasn't been going so well.
I see. So it would help if I could temporarily pay off the debt. Then you wouldn't have to worry about the high interest rate.
That's right. So please, can you lend us $10,000? Of course we'll pay you back, and we'll even pay you some interest. First of all, we need to do something about the high interest rate debt.
Well, all right then. If that's the case, I'll cover the $10,000 this once.
Really?
It's true that I've been able to save a lot of money thanks to the living expense exemption. But I'm not going to go easy on you just because we're siblings. I'll make sure you make a repayment plan, and I won't tolerate any delays.
Of course.
Then, let's discuss the repayment plan tonight, and a written pledge. Then I'll lend you $10,000 right away.
Thank you, sis. Then I'll see you tonight.
Serena? I still think it's unfair that only you, Serena, are exempted from living expenses. So, please get out of the house right now. I've already taken all your belongings outside.
What? What is this all of a sudden?
We've already discussed my living expenses, haven't we? But I still don't agree with it. Edward and I work together to make ends meet every month. But you, Serena, who is exempted from paying living expenses, is happily going on a shopping spree. Think about how I would feel having you show off your new high-brand bags to me.
I'm not showing them off. Besides, that brand bag has been my dream since I was little.
I don't care about your dreams. The problem is that you do whatever you want while I have to put up with it. You don't get to shop for luxury brands when you parasite on us.
What part of me is a parasite to you?
You've been a parasite all along. You live in the same house as us, yet you don't even pay a penny for it. You've been living on our money the whole time. You're just like a parasite, Serena.
You keep bringing up that crazy theory again.
So, you parasite, get out of this house. Our lives will be easier once you're gone.
What do you mean by that?
To begin with, a monthly living expense of $1,000 is too expensive. It's true that the house is located in the best district, but it's old. $1,000 for living expenses, including rent, is a huge ripoff. That's when I finally realized this 1,000 living expenses must be a plot by your parents. They must be adding your living expenses on top of the needed amount.
Huh? Are you seriously saying that it's a plot by my parents?
Of course I'm serious. That's why I'm kicking you out of this house. If you disappear, the added cost of living should be reduced. Then, our finances will be a little more manageable. I'll be able to buy a high-brand bag.
You're as crazy as ever, aren't you? Your thoughts are just too convenient, or perhaps you're just too assuming. I'm getting tired of dealing with you.
I don't want to deal with parasites anymore either. This is the last day for you to rely on your brother and his wife. Get out of here, you parasite, who doesn't pay anything.
Then pay me back the $10,000.
Huh? I can't. Why should I pay you back that much money?
Of course you have to pay me back. Edward told you everything, didn't he? That I helped you guys pay off your debt.
I heard that, but I don't think that's needed. That debt was caused by you. That's why you, who was the cause of the debt, paid it back.
Huh?
You didn't even pay a penny for the living expenses. You're so spoiled by your parents that you don't pay anything. That's why we had to pay $1,000 a month for living expenses. That led us to borrowing money. In other words, it's a debt that came about because of you. You should be the one to pay for it, not me.
And it's time you stopped shifting the blame for that debt. It's all because of you two spending too much money.
Shut up! I don't care what you parasites preach. Get out of here. There's no place for parasites here anymore.
Okay, then the $10,000 will become $100,000 for you to pay back.
What?
And you'll have to pay it all back in one lump sum. Oh, this will be tough.
What are you talking about? $100,000? We didn't borrow that much from you.
Not from me, but you did borrow it from my parents.
What?
You thought I didn't know anything about that?
Wait a minute. Oh my God. How much do you know about it?
I know everything. I know that you forced my parents to pay back your scholarship.
What?
I heard that when you and Edward got married, you asked my parents for a lot of money. Since I'm marrying into this house, you should be able to pay that much, is what you said.
You threatened them that if they didn't pay, you wouldn't sign the marriage contract and you wouldn't have the ceremony. My parents, out of pity, did as they were told and paid back your $30,000 scholarship money. Oh, no, I mean... And I heard that you've been constantly behind on your monthly living expenses too. Sometimes you don't even pay $100 out of the $1,000. And you even forced my parents to pay for the down payment on your new car. You think you've hidden it well, but I know all about it. No way! Edward and I had agreed not to tell you, Serena. I told your parents not to tell either. My parents kept their word. They haven't said anything. I just had too good an insight and found out on my own. I immediately questioned my parents about it, but they didn't say anything. But they didn't deny it, so that's your answer. Oh no! So, I did my own calculations. The total amount of money you guys made my parents pay, when you add it all up, it's quite a bit of money. And if you add in the $10,000 that I covered, it comes to exactly $100,000. What? We owed that much money? Besides, it's hard to manage debts when it's all over the place, isn't it? That's why I thought it would be better to combine all the debts into one loan. I temporarily covered the debt you two made to my parents, so I had my brother sign the pledge to pay me back $100,000 in total. A pledge? Even though you're his sister? We're family, so that's why we have to be firm about these things. It also says what to do if he tries to escape from my payment. In that case, you'll have to repay the debt in one lump sum, no matter what. What? So you'll have to pay me $100,000 in one lump sum. Oh, if you only hadn't kicked me out or tried to evade your debts, then I would have waited for you guys to pay in installments as promised. Wait a minute! I didn't hear anything about that. Even if you didn't hear it, Mary, Edward's signature is on it. Then I'll leave as you said. So, Mary, get ready for the lump sum payment.
I'm so sorry, sis. I've retrieved all your stuff. I've put it all back in the house neatly. So please, don't tell me we'll have to pay you back in one lump sum. I have no intention of kicking you out or running away from my debt at all.
Even if you don't, Mary seems to be different. She called me a parasite and kicked me out. I can't live with someone like that anymore.
Don't say that. Let's continue to live together at this home. Mary wants to apologize to you too. She just took it out on you. Mary wanted to buy a high brand bag too, so she got jealous and kicked you out.
I've covered for her $100,000 and yet she took it out? Do you think such a childish excuse will let this matter go away?
I told you that I'm sorry, and so is Mary. Our parents are furious over what happened, and it's not good. If you don't come back, they're going to cut us off. They'll kick us out for disrupting the family harmony.
I can't believe you guys offended those parents who are as kind as Jesus. But maybe that's good for you guys. Maybe this will be a good opportunity for you to get rid of your bad spending habits.
What?
If you can depend on anyone, it will naturally improve. Oh, but can you guys rent a house? You'd have to sell your car to pay me back. And you'll have to sell everything you own. Maybe you'll be homeless after you leave this house.
What are you laughing at? It's not a maybe, it's a definite. So do me a favor, sis. Come back to the house and let's all live together again. I'll really pay my debt of $100,000 too, so please change it back to installments.
Why do you think I prepared a pledge for you? I'll have you pay it in one lump sum no matter what. Well then, I go look for a place to live. Oh, do we really have to pay back $100,000? Huh? You have to pay back what you owe. That's common sense, right? Yes, but I'm not quite convinced. Edward showed me the written pledge and I listened to what he had to say. But I still think it's strange. Well, what is strange about it? The fact that you have $100,000. How can you cover such a large sum of money on your own, Serena? Even if you live at your parents' house, it's bizarre that you have such a fortune. Is it? I don't have any grades, so I'm able to save money. But still, $100,000 is crazy. Just because we have no idea how much money we owe? Aren't you raising the amount of money on purpose? What? It should be about $50,000 that we borrowed from your parents. But you're saying that the total is $100,000. And you make it sound like you've done us a favor, covering for our debt. You actually intend to rob us, don't you? You're still thinking like a madman. There's no way I would do such a trick. Otherwise, there's no explanation. You're just a high school graduate living at your parents' home. There's no way someone like that could afford $100,000. I own a company. What? It's small, but it has some sales. So I can afford to take on $100,000 on my own. Really? You're kidding, right? I had no idea you were running a company. That's because I didn't tell you. If I told my brother and his wife, who spends money like crazy, I was sure they'd treat me like a convenient ATM. I can't deny that. I'm thinking of living in a luxury tower apartment. It sounds like a good place for a business owner. A tower apartment? No way! I didn't know you had that much money. If I had known you were a company president, I wouldn't have kicked you out. Look, I'm really sorry from the bottom of my heart. I'll get down on my knees or whatever. So let's mend our relationship. Why don't we go on a shopping date? No way, you idiot. I don't even want to see your face anymore. No. If you'll get down on your knees or whatever, just pay me first, okay? With the help of my parents, all of my brother and his wife's belongings were sold off, and they used it to pay me back. But it still wasn't enough to pay me back in full. They were so desperate that they asked all their friends to lend them money, but no one was willing to help them out. In the end, they moved into a cheap apartment. They also repaid my debt with the help of a consumer finance company. I heard that the interest rate was quite high. They are working hard to repay the debt. By the way, I moved into a tower apartment. My parents who came to visit me said, I wonder if we should sell our house and move here too. The two of them, I'm sure they'll come begging for us to share the house with them again. They were proceeding with the bidding process for the room next door,